Okay, this is group 3. We're going to do our demo today. Go through all the different artifacts here, and we're going to let Briana kick us off on the demo.
Hello and welcome to our group project and demonstration showing our website we created called Flex Funds. We were a team of 6 and today we will be walking through our budget app, a tool we designed to help users track their income and expenses in a simple and intuitive way. We originally started our project on an Excel document where we spoke of the things we wanted to reflect, and also we divvied up the jobs to make sure that we were doing it in an order that could be reversed, could be tested, could be changed, and created a flow from start to finish. After doing it in our Excel document for a while, we switched over to Jira Board, which was a software that we used. We weren't very familiar with it, but after doing some digging, Julie was very intuitive in learning in it, and also using the resources that was provided to make sure that we were doing it the correct way and using it to its full potential. Now we'll pass it over to Cade, who will speak about how he started the process of creating the login page for our application.
Right. So it's a pretty simple login page. I wrote it with you can see a little bit of a style sheet at the beginning, just inline. The rest of it is written in HTML, and there's a little bit of JavaScript as well. Down at the bottom where you'll see where we switch from like a registration to a login form. I use Java, like a small bit of JavaScript to make that switch. But other than that, it's a pretty simple login page. It attaches to a Python script that remind me who wrote the Python script?
That was me, Julie.
Yeah. So that and then a logo created by, was it James?
Briana.
Briana, sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole login page, and that of course attaches to the dashboard.
I do want to add to your little that you had a registration portion as well there. So
Right.
yeah. Okay. I can go now. I'm going to talk a little bit about, actually, Briana, sorry, Laila, why don't you go? Sorry.
All right. Hi, I am Laila. I was in charge of basically making the foundation of the application as far as on the data side, so we can keep track and keep organized and have a structured database for when the users input their information into our application. So first, I would like to start off um, with the ERD, Julie, if you can. I have it pulled up if I need to. It's under the documents. Yep.
All right.
There we go. Thank you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our basically our relational database. And the structure I use is the simple entity to attributes. And all these tables are different entities. So basically columns that we will have data going into just to keep it organized. We have user income, expenses, expense category, transactions, fund money, and bills. And we try to incorporate most of these within the application as best as we could. And this is just given in detail what type of data it will be, or what type of data the user needs to input for the code and the data set to be able to read it and input it into the tables. So you have, like, for instance, primary key. Is that primary key connected to this primary key? And most of the primary keys are all connected to the user entity, because that is the main goal, is to get the user's information into the data set. And so yeah, this was the foundation of it before I went ahead and did the database design, which was where I coded the database for SQL. And Julie, you can pull that up for me.
Oops. Oh yeah. Or did you want to see this part first? Sorry.
Yeah, the code for it should be in G as well. I have that pulled.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's the the budget table code. Under templates.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. All right, and so this is the code that I use to and this is simple. This is simple SQL code. I did have to do this in MariaDB. That was the first time me using that platform for coding. And that is where our our platform was connected to the database. So right when the user inputted information or expense, it went right into the tables. And these are the tables that I discussed in the ERD, the expenses, the bills, the savings goal, and all the user ID and all that stuff. And all these are connected within foreign keys. And like I said, all these are columns. All of these attributes are columns within the table. And also we're going to show you guys pulling the data. And here we selected from and expenses, and we executed that query, and here we go. We have put a lot in we just have been testing it, but here are all the user's data that has been inputted into the application. Yeah, so it's a lot of it. It's a lot going on, but and we do have it on the application. You only see the most recent data that has been inputted. You do not see all this. You can pull it up, but you just don't see this when you first step onto the application. And I think that might be it, unless you want me to cover something else, Julie. I got you.
I think that was perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, love.
All right, and then James, I'm going to log in, and you can go explain in here. All right. You're muted, James.
Okay. So Laila designed the back end, and Cade designed the front end. So here's the application that we pulled from GitHub. So once you pass the login page, here's the dashboard that you could play with. And so we imitate some money already in the balance. That's the fund money remaining that we had on top. And so the user has the option to enter additional income or expenses, and that amount of either income or expense are going to be added to or subtracted from the fund money remaining balance. And that's the whole purpose of this app. You know, we just want to see how much in the that we have in our budget that we have left after all the bills are paid, and what's the amount of fund money that we have left with. So
awesome.
My part is I did come up with 15 requirements in the original project, and so when I ran the test, I make sure that all of the executions satisfied or evaluated against those 15 requirements, and it did. So that's all there is to it. If you know more wanted to know more details on how to operate, we have a very detailed README file that you could follow and play along with the software.
Great. All right, thank you, James. And then the last thing, well, okay, I'll just do my turn now. So I wanted to go through some of this dashboard code. Well, first, let me go back here to our project. Okay, so the dashboard code I put in this dashboard 2 because I was doing quite a bit of testing. But I can show you here that in our hosting site, we had to learn that this was run by CGI. So the Python had to have a special library reference to CGI. And here, this is where all of our Python lives. And then our HTML files, including the login page, lives here. So that's pretty simple, but this is the code for the dashboard that you saw all the calculations happening in. You can see some of these inserts. So this is an insert statement that inserts in the database. This was with help from Laila. And then we have passing our user ID. Now we do have a hard-coded username and password. Didn't think it was necessary to encrypt this for this level of project. But that's pretty much it. Here's get our total income, which is just a select. It does have a coalesce, so that we do put 0 in case it's null. And then we have our other select statements here. And it's pretty simple. There's just the HTML. It's brought the same HTML that was in the original login screen is also brought in here, but Roderick designed the actual color scheme and the layout of the dashboard page, which he did in Figma. So I took that and helped make it real in this Python. So that is pretty much it.
Julie, would you want to go over the gyro board?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So totally forgot.
Oh no, I was gonna remind you. I said let me get her thing in. So we kind of use this right instead of the Excel to make it a little bit more gyro instead of GitHub, so we can see.
Oh, sorry.
No. It was gyro. I'm sorry. I was just comparing that. We use this because it was more organized. We feel like than Git. We do have all of our documents and stuff in there, but Julie was lovely enough to create our gyro board, so we could really see who did each part. And it shows that in Git, but this really shows who really participated within the different documents and stuff. With names and things like that.
I did try to take a stab at writing actual user stories, so that we could have something to follow, because this is technically what we would have to work with in our jobs. So, but not on all of them. Just trying to get used to seeing what that looks like. So.
Yep, and that we did this on top of the task list on our Excel sheet as well. That's what we started with. What Briana went over. So, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Is there anything anybody else wants to add, or that maybe I forgot?
I do just want to talk about the extensive testing and some of the barriers that we did run into.
Yes.
Along the way of creating the website. How I can't forget, Julie, that one time when we noticed that the data was not transferring correctly into the top 5 recent transactions, and we had to take a look at the code several times to make sure that it was putting out the accurate information. It was updating correctly onto the web page. And we spent a lot of time working and changing and correcting the code.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was an error you also had found that it was going to a totally different page, I guess, because I had fixed something and broke something else. So
Yes.
that's, yeah.
Okay.
So, but now it's good. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And right
Yeah.
now, I think everybody
And
wants this to be their bank account.
this is James. I also wanted to add that in the process of running the tests on the dashboard, remember that I found an error, and so I was able to relay it back to the dev team, Laila and Julie, to fix it, and so it's a good collaboration effort of the whole team.
All right.
Yes, yes. Thank you, James.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Anybody, any final words? Are we good?
Do we
I
have any
think
trouble
so.
deploying the
Is
tool?
everyone still on?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Yeah.
I can. Are you going to stop recording? I can always cut this part off.
The final stage is deployment of the tools. Did we have any trouble deploying it, or we just load it in the GitHub and update the
We
README file?
Yeah, we didn't deploy it actually from GitHub. We just deployed it into Helio here, so it is actually live on the web.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
and we
just
kind
want
of
to
had to
mention
do.
that so that the instructor know how to access it.
Yeah, it's in the README file.
Yeah, it's a continuous running application through Helio.
Yeah.
And Julie, also, if you would like to touch on how you actually link the systems and any real-time updates you were making and pushing straight to the GitHub, I think that was very, very, it helped and it saved us a lot of time when you connected everything together. And once changes were made and we were doing a lot of troubleshooting, you were able to push it straight to the GitHub.
That's true. I did develop it in VS Code and a tool called Cursor, which is like a VS Code. And I was able to set that up to do direct check-ins, checkouts, basically, and pushes to Git from my workstation, basically. It did get a little messy at the end, so I started having to do manual, but at least at the beginning it was nice.
Yep. Taking advantage of the version control of GitHub.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
I think that is it.
All right.
So,
good job, team.
So just one submissions needed for the whole team?
That's